Hello, good morning, everybody. How are we doing today on this stupidly hot English morning, at least? This is stream 4 for the Storytellers Hearth Weekend Relay. It is a lovely 5 a.m. for probably some of you, so appreciate it if you're up that early. And to the rest of the Europeans and everyone else in the world, hi. This is probably a really easy stream for you.
Yeah, it's like 12 here. So like noon.
Yes. That's the thing about the weekend relay. Time zones suck. So Friday is not the best for anyone outside of the US to participate unless you like to stay up really, really late. So they get the really, really late streams and we get the really, really, really early ones. So
Yeah.
it's sort of set up in a way that everybody can participate in at least the majority of the streams.
Yeah.
Which is always a plus.
That's a great thing about this.
Yeah, it's for everybody. Rainy, hello. Kagehime, CB, happy time zones, absolutely. JC is here. Hello, how are you? Whew, right. Do you want to do a quick introduction?
Yeah, so I'm Annika. I write mainly YA contemporary. I don't know how to say that word. And I've recently started making videos about writing too. And yeah. Oh, and I have Tourette's syndrome, so I have tics and I will shout and wiggle here. Don't mind me.
It's absolutely fine, don't worry. It will add to the chaos.
Yes.
Well placed
Definitely.
within the writing community, absolutely. And I'm Sarah. I'm your host today and baby admin for the Storytellers Hearth Weekend Relay. You can find me on YouTube pretending to make videos about writing. I'll get back into it at some point. It's fine. How is everybody doing this morning? Where are we coming from? How has your participation been in the weekend relay so far? Have you gotten anything good or productive done? I have a child in the living room. She might be loud, so I do apologize if you do hear anybody in the background. I did. First time since a very, very long time. So slowly trying to get back into it, but we'll see how it goes. CB's still half asleep. 10:03 in Glasgow. Yeah, I'd love to still be half asleep. My brain might still be half asleep.
Yeah. I kind of am because I took a nap a bit earlier, like an hour ago maybe. So
Naps. Love a good nap.
yeah.
What is everybody?
I'm on stream till 6 my time.
Yes, you are co-hosting quite a lot this weekend, I saw.
Yeah.
Which is absolutely fabulous.
I think I'm co-hosting like 7 streams.
Yeah. I should probably ask, what is your next stream? It's not.
My next stream is the one after this, so stream 5.
That's what I thought. So we'll have to make sure we get off at the right time so you can hop on over there.
Yeah.
Won't pull a opening ceremony like yesterday where we were a little bit over. Sorry, guys, it happens. Rainy spent the morning watching some AuthorTube videos and reading. Lena, hello, good morning. 11 a.m. in Sweden and the weather is wonderful. I'm glad the weather's wonderful somewhere. Yep. CB knows. CB knows what I'm talking about. It sucks. I'm not outside. It's not sunny. I'm sweating. Currently sitting in my house. It's horrible, but it will work.
But great to hear that Sweden has good weather, because I'm almost in Sweden right now.
Always there. Sharing. So Sweden's got the good weather. Does that mean you're going to get that good weather as well?
I hope so.
Fingers crossed.
Because we drive like from my parents' place where I am. We drive to Sweden in like 10 minutes.
Oh, that close?
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. I'd love to be
And
able to
there's
drive
no
somewhere.
like border control or anything.
Yeah, border control is very, I find, not lax, but very relaxed in a lot of Europe, which I really, really do appreciate.
Yeah, me too.
Rainy's goal, going to try and get to 2K as quickly as possible and then do some word crawl sprints to top off my daily word count. What is your daily word count, for one? And yeah, everyone let me know what you guys are going to be working on. Are we going to be writing? Are we going to be reading, relaxing, getting breakfast, which is something I should actually do, but I probably won't. Shuat, hello. Trying to finish a work report, so the writing has been put on hold. Life loves getting in the way of writing, I do admit. What are you going to be working on for this stream or in general?
I'm going to be writing my 24-hour novel.
Yes.
Because I'm not going to finish the novel this 24 hours, but I'm going to try my best to get as many words in as I can.
Yes, I forgot that was going on. Is that Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So for those of you confused, the 24-hour novel is like a yearly writing challenge where you have 24 hours to write a novel. And you can do this between Saturday today and Monday the 23rd. And I don't think you have to write in a 24-hour block, which I did last year when I participated. But 24 hours, I think most people do over those 3 days in order to fast draft your novel.
Yeah.
I made the mistake of doing it in 24 hours, as in I got up at 3 a.m. and wrote for 24 hours until the next 3 a.m. because that's more of a challenge for me. And then I cheated and added up the actual time I'd spent sprinting, and then the next day made up the rest of the hours I had sprinting in order to finish the novel. It was fun. I don't think I'd be able to do it again.
Well, it's strategy though.
It is definitely strategy. I've done a lot of really weird writing challenges in my life. I've done writing 70,000 words in 7 days, writing 50,000 words in 3 days, and all of this, that, and the other. And I used to be really, really good at it. I'm not really, really good at fast drafting anymore, unfortunately. Maybe I'll have to try and get back into it. What is your novel about? If you don't mind sharing, of course, I should say.
Yeah, of course I can share. My novel it's a rewrite of something I've written previously, but I'm not happy with. So it's already drafted. It's about this 15-year-old girl who struggles with eating disorder and self-harm, and it's about her recovery journey.
Oh, I like that. Yes, I love it when authors and writers bring in realism and focus on, you know, issues and struggles that people have in real life. Absolutely fantastic. Have you started, or is this the starting stream today for you?
I already started at 5 a.m. my time, so it was like the stream number 3.
Yeah.
I've written only 1,300 something words though.
Well, that's good. That's good for a start stream. Do you have a plan? Or are you just winging it as you go?
I have a plan. I can show you. It's on my board.
Boards, yes. Give me all the boards. I love organization. Yes.
This is half the plan.
I love it. So is this all of your scenes, I'm assuming, and it's one by one and done?
Yeah.
Yes.
And then
Now
I
I'm
have
bored.
this kind of stack more.
Is that
Post-notes.
up as stuff comes down because there's too much to fit on it?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is my organisation for the weekend.
Yeah.
I had a plan, and then decided not to do the plan.
I'm highly organized here because I have
wing
a
it.
whiteboard besides me where I have written my goals for every single stream. And then I also have a section for the current stream where I write my more specific goals and who I'm hosting with and what time it is.
Are so prepared. I love to see it. I wish I could be that organized. I aim to be that organized, but I'll go as far as planning everything and then not actually following through the actual organization part. I love it. I'm going to keep track of you over this weekend then to see how you're coming along with your goals.
Yeah.
Absolutely. CB won't be doing the 24-hour thing, typing out chapter 2 of Start for President. Yes, extremely organized. Absolutely love it. I love seeing other people's organization, and I hope that it doesn't inspire my ADHD too much to do the same, because then I'll get distracted.
Well, this is what happens when I have ADHD and get distracted and excited. Because I've been prepping for like a week, planning my novel, planning the schedule for this weekend, everything. Because I'm hyperfixated on this one.
Yeah, that's how I got this. My ADHD hyperfixated, and I did that. You don't need to crawl on the floor. You can just walk past. So my kids have a habit of crawling along the floor behind me because I'm in the living room, so they're not on camera. Shush. And I'm being told to shush. I'm sorry. I won't out you guys anymore. I really apologize. I will skip that comment, JC. It's my next writing experiment to see if I can top what past Sarah did in the same previous Don't give me ideas, JC, because I'll go into it knowing I'll fail, but seeing if I can actually do it. Fine.
Well, that's a good idea, though. Maybe I could do that. Because I've done 24-hour challenge before. I wrote like 24 hours in 72 hours. And I got like 15k words in.
Yeah. Yes, you can have a snack. Oh, my children. JC, you'll have to pick which experiment I retry. There we go. That's on you now. Lena, this stream, all of the streams for the Storytellers Hearth weekend relay are around 2 hours and 45 minutes long. Up to about 3 hours. It depends on what time they finish in order to be able to get to the next stream. So we will be sort of finishing this particular stream at around 12:45 BST. I don't know. 7:45
is 1
is what
hour
I am
before
now.
Swedish time.
Yes, and it'll be 7. No, it won't. Yes, it will. About 7:45 a.m. EDT, I think, is the time zone across the pond is at. But yeah, it'll be 2 hours and 45 minutes.
Yeah.
But yeah, we will go to the first sprint in just a second. I did have it all planned out. I can do that again. So the plan today is to do 3 to 4 sprints. We'll see how far we get. We'll start with a 15-minute sprint just to ease everybody in. And then it will be roughly 30-ish minute sprints after that. And our last sprint will a little bit more or a little bit less, depending on what time we start it in preparation for the next stream. Fair warning, The timer I'm using does have white noise in the background at the moment. I think it's set on rain, which I can turn off if no one wants the white noise, or I can leave on and you guys can mute, whichever you would prefer to do. Yes, JC, off you go then. Just so you know, you guys are in camera by the fridge.
Mum,
Okay.
what's this channel name?
What's this channel's name?
Yeah.
This is my channel.
Oh, your channel, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, great. We're going to have an invader in the comments. I'm warning you now. Right, so if everyone is ready, we'll get started with the first sprint. If I can remember how to do this properly and not, it is that one. Yes, it is that one.
So, like, what's the like actual channel?
What's my actual channel?
Yeah, like
Sarah Cahill Writes. Weekends. Gotta love them. Right, so we are going to get started on our first 15-minute sprint. I will shove a question for all of you guys underneath this for discussion after this first sprint has finished, which is as below, because I do love a good discussion. Yeah, just beware, it'll pop up and, you know, kids and sassiness and interruptions and all of that. So if we are ready, we'll start our first sprint in, where's my start? I need to go over here for that, don't I? 3, 2, 1. I know what I'm doing. It's fine. And begin. Wait. I know what I'm doing. There we go. And begin. Oh my God. Okay, and that is the end of the first sprint. How did everybody do? Let me stop that. And do that. And do this. Lovely. Please also ignore the child in the background. Public space, that happens all the time. I have 3 different projects I am attempting to work on this weekend, one of which is my Witchy YA, which I am actively working on anyway, for the first draft. The second is reading the first draft of my Dark Academia Fantasy to see if it is revisable. And the third is finishing the first draft of another YA fantasy, Project Grey, which I started last year and promptly didn't do. So I'm currently working on Project Grey, trying to get back into the last 6 chapters of that. Luckily, most of this chapter that I'm writing has a lot of the conversation already planned out. So literally, I was just putting that in. We've done something, at least. And it's still hot. What did you get done on that first sprint?
I got done. Hold on, let me look at my spreadsheet. I got done almost 200 words of my novel.
Yes. Were they easy words?
No. It's
No.
always. I'm always slow at starting.
You got to ease into it a little bit to get to the flow.
So, like, get the hang of what I'm wanting to write.
Yeah. Hopefully the momentum keeps going. Everyone's done some fantastic work. Chili Ferret, hello, how are you? Welcome, welcome.
1,000 words is impressive.
Yes, in 15 minutes, speed writer, absolutely brilliant. Years ago, I think my I can't think of words. Lethalogica at its finest. The most words I'd ever written in 30 minutes, I think, was like 1,700 words. Back in the day when I could write without worrying about the quality. Can't do that now. Can't do a lot of things now. It's really depressing. And JC edited a little more of their video. Fantastic. Thank you, Chili. Much appreciated. I'm glad that went well. Hope everyone is easing into it nicely because we have a long day of productivity and sprinting ahead. But yeah, favorite characters in books / media. I only added / media because Ash. Yours is Ash from Pokemon. Ash from Pokemon. There we go. Pikachu's the best. Misty is also the best. There's no opinions about that. Thank you very much.
Your opinion is wrong.
Mother, my opinion is never wrong. Lena's favourite is Atticus or one of their favourites, Atticus from To Kill a Mockingbird. The man is so responsible and kind. Is it bad that I've never actually read that novel?
I've never read that either.
I feel like that's more of like an American school reading book that they focus on, where like we tend to, at least in England, it's a lot of Shakespeare that we read as opposed to like classic novels. I sort of know, but then also I probably don't know very much at all. Rainey, yep, Percy Jackson, fantastic protagonist all around. Seriously behind on reading books, same. And the pensioners from the Thursday Murder Club. Oh, I've never heard of the Thursday Murder Club. Sounds very, very interesting. Let me know more about that. Yes. CB's cliched Joan March. Oh my god, that's my child. I was about to go, someone's leaving. No, it's my child.
I left the stream like 5 minutes ago.
Made us read a lot of Shakespeare too. I don't know why it's always Shakespeare. There you go. Thursday Murder Club movie. Okay, let me write down Thursday Murder Club just because I like. You know, I do all these questions. I never actually have answers for myself, which is really, really stupid of me.
Yeah, it is.
Sassy pants sitting behind me. Favorite character or one of your favorite characters in media, Annika? Do you have one?
I had to think about this one, but I would say either Haymitch, Abernathy, or Katniss Everdeen from the Hunger Games, because the Hunger Games is my current other hyperfixation.
Yes.
And special interest. So, and they are my two favorite characters from the books and movies.
Yes. Yeah, I love both of them. I know that the love for Hunger Games is returning, obviously, with whatever it was, the one that came out a couple of years ago. I can never remember the name of it because I'm not that well versed in the new Hunger Games stuff. And obviously Haymitch's book came out earlier this year as well. And I think that sort of reinvoked everybody's love for that specific character, especially because it is going into his past. And I think it makes some great callbacks to the Hunger Games as well, and why Haymitch is the way that he is, which is also absolutely fantastic. I do love Suzanne Collins for all of the work she puts in. Thursday Murder Club, 4 pensioners who solve murder in their retirement homes. One of them is an ex-MI5 agent, another ex-boxer. See, that just immediately brings to mind Only Murders in the Building. And I enjoy Only Murders in the Building. So
I might watch that show with my mom.
Yes.
That used to be our show.
Yes. Love that show. One of the only shows that comes out with decently lengthed episodes regularly, as opposed to the rest of TV and streaming services, which is sucky. I don't know if I have like any major favorite characters in books or media. Most recently, I guess, I've been rereading Six of Crows, which has reinvoked my love of Kaz and Inej, obviously, and all of the characters in that, really. And I've recently been very into Arcane. And the majority of the characters in Arcane are some of my absolute favourites. Caitlin and Vi, love them all to pieces. Really well written, really realistic characters, which I really appreciate. But yeah, it's weird what draws us to certain characters. Is there anything about Haymitch or Katniss that draws you to them in regards to their personality, or is it just them as a whole?
I think I like Katniss especially because in some ways she's similar to me and some ways completely different. So it's that balance between something I know really well and something I don't know at all.
Yeah.
And Haymitch is just, I love the way he's written, like the two sides of him.
Yeah, the duality. I trying to think back to when I watched The Hunger Games last or read the last books, but Haymitch was always one of those deep, complex characters.
That's what I love about him. He's so complex.
He's the gruff one, the gruff outside, but he's got like a little soft inside that he doesn't like showing people. But it's in his words and his actions and his quiet support of everybody else where you see the softness.
And he's quite comedic also.
Yes.
At least in the first book, For example, when he falls off the stage because he's so drunk.
Yeah. Yeah, I think characters, relatable characters, and they don't need to be likable, I guess. Relatable characters where you can understand where they're coming from or you have something in common with them do often make the best characters, because you can see yourself in them, you can see your situation in their situation. You don't have to struggle to understand what they're trying to do. It just makes sense, I think, is always what makes a good character. They have flaws, but you still love them for it.
Or maybe you love them because of their flaws.
Yes. No Mary Sue's here.
No.
It's always my aim to like plot aside, I always try to focus more on the actual characters themselves in my books, because I feel like people will follow good characters through a bad plot, but they won't follow bad characters through a good plot. At least that's how it is with me. Even if the plot isn't that good, if there's characters I really enjoy and I want to see their character arc or their journey, I'll continue reading even though the plot sucks, because I'm drawn to the characters. If the plot sounds really, really good, but the characters suck, I'm like, no, I don't care.
Yeah, then it's kind of boring reading just for the plot.
Yeah, because characters, I think the best books, the characters make the plot.
Yeah.
Rather than the other way around.
At least my novels are mostly character driven. So,
yes,
because I love my characters, of course.
Yeah, I love my characters as well. I have this thing where if I go back and I reread any of my old work, if I still enjoy the characters that I've written, I know that I've done a good job. Plot holes and subplots and all of that aside, if I'm still enjoying the characters, I'm like, okay, I've still got a good foundation, and it's just the plot that I need to work on, but the characters help it go through, which I do enjoy.
That's actually a very good way to measure how successful you've been in the past, if you like the characters still.
Yeah, at least that's how I mark it anyway. CB, have a fantastic nap. Hope to see you in some of the streams a little bit later. I need updates on what you're writing. We've got chapter 2 so far. I need to know when you get to chapter 3. And we shall go into our second sprint. I have stuff open everywhere and I don't know where any of it is. And I shall put up the next question, because I like learning things from people. So after this next sprint, we'll do a 30 minutes. We'll talk about go-to tricks, hacks, or routines for writing. Because as an ADHDer, I have some hacks, but I don't have routine, which is what I desperately need. So learning from anybody else is only going to help me in the future. No gatekeeping here, guys. I'll just continue working on the same chapter I'm continually working on at the moment. That should absolutely be fine. So if we are ready, we're going to go into our second sprint, 30 minutes, and begin. And that is the end of the second sprint. How did everybody do? Let me pause that. And that one. I know what I'm doing. It's okay. How did we do on that sprint?
I did great.
Yes.
I did 502 words,
Yes.
which is
Were they?
significantly better than last time.
Did they come a little bit easier this time as well?
Yeah, it wasn't so. The words weren't so. How do I translate it? Sticky.
Yeah. Oh, it's fantastic. I am disliking everything I'm writing.
Oh
It's a
no!
It's a first draft, so I don't quite mind. I'm just trying to get all of the information down that I need in this chapter. But it's just like they're talking, they're still talking, they're still talking, sort of thing. So it's not a massive issue. Like if I hate it, I hate it. It's a necessary part of doing a first draft, I think, to write something that you're not entirely happy with. But
Yeah, that's true.
I can't start making it better until all of it's written. So if it's bad, it's bad. I can fix it later.
Yeah, you can't fix nothing. You can only fix things that exist.
Yes. So I think I'm mostly done with the chapter itself.
Good job.
And the terrible, terrible thing that it is. It's just trying to piece together all of the different parts of it that I've got, because I keep skipping ahead and back, writing a little bit at the beginning, skipping down to a different conversation, writing a little bit more in that conversation, skipping back up a little bit to add something. I need to piece together all of the different elements. It's probably not the best way to write, but that's how my mind is working at the moment. I go where the inspiration and the thoughts are, rather than try and struggle through writing it all chronologically.
Yeah,
I
ran into a bit similar problem last sprint because I realized that I have left out some really important conversations between my characters.
Yeah.
And now they don't fit in anymore. So at least they don't fit in where I planned them to be. So now I need to rethink where the conversations happen.
That is the worst thing, when you've written something that you really love, but then when you're revising, that doesn't fit nicely anymore, and you're like, oh man.
Yeah.
But I loved this. It needs to go somewhere. I've cut so many fun lines and moments and things over the years. It's like, if there was a way to keep you, I would keep you.
And it's not even something I really love. It's something that's really important for the reader to understand the story better.
That's even worse.
Yeah.
It's a good thing that you've spotted that quite early, though. So you know that when you rework stuff, you need to rework it in a way to put that back in and make it fit.
Yeah, I think I'll take the next sprint
Turn the fan on in your room, please. Thank you. Sorry.
I think I'll take the next sprint to rethink what I'm doing.
Yeah. We'll see where it goes. 1 second. Sorry, children.
No worries.
Rainey wrote 570 words and is now at 1,099 words for the daily word count. In fact, you're going to get that so early, Rainey. What are you going to do with the rest of your day?
Write more.
There we go. Love that plan. Writing semester 2, every now and then I go and read through previous chapters and write revision notes to make me feel better. Yeah, that's a good way to do it, because then you sort of, instead of reading through everything and seeing the mess of everything and trying to make a plan for everything, which can be a little bit overwhelming, going back and rereading little bits at a time and making notes on those sort of, I feel, will help make the hard work easily digestible and not seem as big and overwhelming and stressful because you've already done part of the work as you go.
Yeah, that's one of my writing tricks, actually, that to set goals that are easily obtainable.
Yes. Lena doesn't write dialogue tags or description during dialogue during the first draft. Fix it when the chapter is done. I like that. That's good. Get all of the important stuff down and then add around it. Don't be too much in the comments, please, okay? Okay. Otherwise, I will ban you from my comments. It's my child again. So, yes, tricks, hacks, routines that you guys have for writing. Is there anything specific that you need to do when you write, when you plan, when you outline or revise? Anything that helps set the mood or set the stage going into any writing sessions that you have? Give me all the tips. I'm writing them all down. I'll have to try them out sometime.
I would say my main trick is the one I said before, that about obtainable goals, and also setting goals that you can easily know when you're achieved them.
Yes.
Like I like word count goals because I know when I've hit them.
Do you change your goals based on how you're feeling mentally or physically that day, or is it the same goals you try to have every single time you write?
No, it's always different based on how I'm feeling and how the words are feeling.
Yes, I like that. Always focusing on I feel like sometimes writers aren't the best at self-care and taking care of themselves, especially if we sort of get in the flow of writing, like eating, drinking sort of just flies out of our head. Especially if we do have very, very big goals that we want to try and achieve.
Yeah, I'm definitely guilty of that.
Yeah. But yeah, sort of taking note of how you're feeling that day and how inspired you are, and then working your goals around that, I think is very, very good. That's very, very manageable.
Yeah.
Did it take you a long time? Sorry, you go.
Recently, I've also started using random word count goals. Like, I use Pacemaker website, so it assigns me a random goal for every day.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, and my goals are between like 1 word and 2,000 words per day.
I like that. I'm doing something similar at the moment. The only hack I have that I sometimes use is my chapters in a box, because I feel myself getting in a place where, I don't want to work on that scene. I don't want to work on that chapter because it bores me, or I don't want to work on it. So I try and make everything I do a challenge for my ADHD brain to work towards, because then it sort of makes it more fun. So I put all my chapters for the current novel I'm writing in my box, and then I will just pick a random chapter out of that box. And that is the chapter that I have to work on.
That's a really good idea.
That's a challenge. And then I've also got, at the moment, random writing sprints and random word counts that I will also pick. So I'll pick a chapter, and then I'll pick a challenge, and I'll have to write that chapter for 20 minutes on a 20-minute sprint, or until I've hit 1,000 words. And then that sort of makes it, I'm challenging and competing against myself. So that sort of helps me get work done when I don't feel like doing work. It's working at the moment. Good. Rainy's currently writing in an empty doc and then turning my text white so that I don't see it. Yes, I love writing white on a white background. with spell check off, because you don't need to see the little red squiggly lines popping up on nothing. But I've done that in the past, and I feel that that helps me not focus on what I have written. I can't see how bad it is. It just helps me write. So that's definitely a handy one. That has worked for me in the past.
I should try that, because like when I write, I might go over the same sentence like 5 times.
Yeah, you'll write it and go, wait a second.
Yeah.
Because you can't see what you've written, you can't question it until you see it at the end. So if you want to try and get a good amount of words in, that's a good one. CB is back. Hello, how was your nap? Lena takes a walk to think on it when they're stuck on a plot point. I usually get unstuck in 20 minutes to an hour. Is this thinking about nothing, or are you talking out loud as you go? Because I know that talking out loud, instead of talking to a person, which is also really handy, talking out loud sort of helps me unstick or work out plot points or character points if I'm having trouble doing it just sitting staring at a computer screen. So that one's a good one as well. I don't always take a walk, but I do open up a Google Doc and I free write my thoughts if I'm stuck, and at some point the random noise in my head that I'm typing down becomes something I can use or something that will work.
Yeah, I also like to free write my stream of consciousness on. I usually do it on paper or post-it notes, because I like writing by hand.
Yes. See, I feel like if I tried to free write writing by hand, I would not be able to reread what I'd written, because my brain is going too fast for my hand to keep up with actually writing how I write, and it will just be like an illegible scrawl is what I always worry about.
Yeah, I like writing by hand because it's for me it's faster than typing.
Oh, is it? I see. I'm the I used to be that way. I'm the opposite now. I type faster than I can write.
Yeah, I'm not that fast typer, so, but I'm getting there.
Yeah. CB concentrates better if they write by hand, and if I need to decide how long to write for, if I'm flying solo on sprints, I'll use a D100 dice. Yes. Always let something else pick the sprint for you, because then you can't be like, oh, just 5 minutes is fine. You've got a challenge. But I like that you concentrate better when you write by hand. Is that because you've got to think more because you are physically writing it out and you're trying to make it so you can read it again?
Or is it because it's when you write on by hand, it's harder to go back and change things
without scribbling stuff out? Yeah.
I don't know, but that could be it.
That would also help as well, because if I'm writing something in a notebook, I don't want the notebook to look horrible, so I'll try and avoid scribbling stuff out.
Yeah.
Which is stupid because it's a notebook, but that's how my brain works. So that would probably make me try and write a little bit nicer, or with a little bit more quality if I knew that I couldn't go back and just erase it and write something else instead.
Yeah.
Mainly slow to write by hand, but I do it when I feel unmotivated, because when I write by hand, there's no word count and it makes me focus on finishing a page and it helps to keep me going. So less stress, less pressure writing on the page rather than writing in a document. I like that as well. Maybe it's because writing in the document feels a bit more permanent rather than writing it by hand. Or writing it in the document makes it feel a bit more official because it's in your Word document with everything else. And writing by hand is like I'm practicing or prepping. Hand hurts after a while. That's the one thing with handwriting. That's a good point, CB. That's a good point. The computer comes with distractions like the internet and other programs to use. Yes. This is my child. When you read something totally unrelated to what you're writing, you'll be amazed at the totally unexpected connections you'll make or strange things you'll discover.
That's true, though.
That is true. Yep, he Googled that from somewhere. 100% bet he did. But no, also that, yeah, because I only write fantasy, really, and I only ever read fantasy. And I know that there's a big worry that if you're writing something and reading something at the same time, you'll get inspiration from obviously what you're reading. And that can leak into what you're writing as well. And I know there's always this worry about plagiarism and things like that, which I know that a lot of people do try and avoid. But yeah, you can learn a lot about a lot of things if you are reading something else that is not related to what you're doing. Absolutely. Very good advice. Thank you, child. I don't think he can hear me, but I'm going to shout anyway. There we go. Looked it up. I thought so.
Well, they're good at researching, though. So finding answers to questions quickly.
Yes. Absolutely. Right, what am I trying to do stuff? And I'm clicking on wrong buttons absolutely everywhere, which is never a good thing. Right, so the next stream is Lee Holderfield. That's not until 1 p.m. my time. So we've got a good hour and 15 minutes, I think, Rainey, before we need to finish up. But we'll get into another sprint in just a moment. Something I find useful when studying and writing is listening to music without words. Okay. What was it? Okay. The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe soundtrack for the movie and the song titled The Battle is my go-to song to listen to, apart from Lindsay Sterling, when I'm writing sometimes and I need music because it's such a good song, and it always gets me hyped up to write when I'm listening to that song.
I don't actually like music without words. I find it too kind of boring. Because the words are the thing in music for me.
It's the words that help you Yeah,
and they don't distract me.
See, I used to get...
Because I write in Finnish, but I listen to songs in English. So
yeah, that would help, yeah.
It doesn't make me lose track of my thoughts.
Yeah. See, I used to always get distracted when I listened to music with words, because I only listen to music that I like with words, and I would end up listening to the music and singing and performing along if it was a song I really, really liked, instead of doing the writing. I've sort of worked myself... Sure. I've sort of gotten out of that, and I can write to actual music now as well. Just depends on how I'm feeling and how much concentration I feel like I need to put in. I think without words or listening to ASMR or white noise can help my focus a little bit more sometimes. There you go.
Yeah, I find it hard to focus in complete silence.
Yes. Definitely, because your thoughts are able to think more things because there's nothing to focus on.
Yeah.
Yes. Stop commenting in the comments, mister. Right. Right. Let us get into another sprint. We can probably manage another 30-minute sprint, or do we want to do a little bit of a longer sprint? Guys, you're all talking. Shush your butts up. Or do we want to do a longer sprint?
I don't know. I'm fine with either.
Okay, so if we do a 30 minutes as normal, and then we might be able to fit in a quick 10-15 minute sprint at the end, just before we all head off as a little cool down before the next stream.
Sounds good.
I'm going to move on to a different project because I feel like my inspiration for that is done. So let me very quickly, and ignore me for a moment because I'm going to need to change everything on my chapter 2. Okay, fine. I've just worked on chapter 1 and then chapter 3, and now I've got chapter 2. So that's fantastic picking in that silly little box. Yeah, bear with me 1 second while I change my task. And we will start our third sprint, 30 minutes. Oh no, 30 minutes. I forgot I did that. 30 minutes. There we go. Begin. Okay, and that is the end of the third sprint. Let me know how you guys have done. It is now lunchtime, so bar the kids, should they be walking past consistently. Yeah, the fridge gets the camera, guys. I do apologise. 1 second. Just for a minute. Right, okay. You've got up until the fridge free now. I can't... No, the little freezer. You can stand by the fridge. I won't see you. I promise. Doesn't want to be on camera. How did everybody do? We got Eva and Morgan and Call Game 2. Hello, how are you? CB's done 116 words and lunch. Lunch, yes, I must get that for myself in a minute. Oh, move your butt. What did you get done for that sprint?
I got done 202 words and ate a snack.
Still good words?
Yeah.
That's good. Oh gosh. Children and their lunch. Lena made the spreadsheet to keep track of character motivation. Ensembles are hard. Yes, ensembles are very hard. Is it multi-POV and you have all of your characters with their own chapters? Or is it just the one solo POV and all of the other characters just in the background that you need to focus on? I can never figure out which is more difficult to organise. Rainey got 530 words, deleted a couple, also finished a chapter, so that is now 12 complete. Absolutely fantastic, Rainey. Almost so close to your word count goal. Absolutely fantastic. Eva arrived and set up a list of things to potentially work on this morning. How big is your list, Eva? Do you have multiple things that you need to work on? Or is it, this is a list of things I can pick from, but I don't need to work on all of them over the weekend? Because I feel like there's a difference between a list and a list, if that makes sense. Guys, a bit quiet, please. Thanks. They all decided to come to the living room the second I started streaming, so that was always fun. Oh gosh. I have been very badly and not with a lot of focus trying to find places in this chapter to add more things in regards to context for the actual plot and the characters itself, which is going okay. I think I found a few places to put everything. I am trying to avoid reading through all of it because I don't want to get too focused on editing everything that I have written. I really just want to add the new bits that I think we're going to need. I've done maybe about 100 words worth of work. I think the heat is very much starting to get to me now and affecting my motivation and the focus I have for writing, which I did not want to happen.
Well, that's understandable.
We'll push through hopefully and we'll see how this last little sprint goes. And then I unfortunately have work, which sucks even worse. There we go. One POV, but it's a mystery with multiple murders and some side characters need arcs to justify. Yes. Okay. Plot related motivations then. Yeah, keeping track of everybody's different motivations and ensuring that characters have different motivations that fit with their past and their background and their personality is always a difficult thing to do. But I think especially with a murder mystery, I think it's more trying to connect it all with the plot as well. But yes, let us know how that goes, Lena. Very, very interested to see how you managed to figure all of that out. Raina's going to do some word call sprints until she wants to do K, just these 3 sprints. And then after that, going to do some reading. Rainy, I'm going to ask you what you're going to be reading. Of course, I'm going to ask that question. And they're just running wild now. It's that time of the day. Stop running around so wild. Terrible. She's just right behind me now, isn't she? This is why I warn people about the children. Because
I
you
would
never know
say
what's
it's
going to happen.
night wilds, but I don't think it's night for you yet.
No.
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 Do we have hands and feet?
Does he have hands and feet?
I'm trying that to David.
He has hands and
You
feet.
are right next to it.
Now they're being weird. Okay, yes, but we're the children immensely Ava. Right.
Good, I'm never playing with you ever again.
And this is a nice look into my writing situation as a whole every single day of my life. This is what I have to work with. Rainy's reading Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. Is it good? I've heard conflicting opinions in regards to that book. Let me know. Because the children are being loud and because we have about half an hour left of the stream, but
That's rude, Mummy.
rude but true.
Oh,
I think the best thing to do would be to go into one last little sprint
The best thing to do would be to hold it.
just to drown them out. So we'll go for what time is it? 20 past. If we go for a final 20-minute sprint,
Get down.
and that will put us to about 22, and then there'll be enough time for a little chat outros and for you to get yourself situated with the next stream.
Sounds good.
I
Before we start,
Yes.
I have one question for you.
Yeah, go.
What's the app that or website you've been using this stream? The one that's on your
This.
there.
It's called Focus To Do. So
Oh.
it's essentially like a Pomodoro timer, where you can adjust like the sprint lengths and the break lengths in between everything, and then it also keeps track of all of your different projects and tasks, and then it gives you like reports and overviews on all of the work and sprints and stuff that you have done throughout the year.
Seems really handy.
It's been very handy with me keeping track of how much I am writing and also how long it takes me to write specific chapters and different projects, because it's all on there. But it's something for me to do, like a little routine I have. I need to time now because I'm doing some work. Just makes me feel a little bit better when I can see that I'm actually physically doing work rather than not doing work. Don't be so loud. Right, before these kids get any louder, let us go into our last sprint of the morning, 20 minutes. If we are ready, we're going to 3, 2, 1, and we'll begin. Okie dokie, everyone. That is the final sprint of the stream. How did we do? I hope you guys all did a lot better than I did because I was not focused at all whatsoever and ended up just rereading bits of what I've already written just to see if there was anything little I could add while I was going, which sucks, but
I did 322 words and downloaded the Focus To Do app.
yeah. Let me know how
I've been
you
influenced.
like it. It's always fun to influence people.
Yeah.
Whew. It just helps. It just helps me keep organized and on track with everything I've got to do without it being much of an effort, which is very helpful. Harry's insulting Dumbledore, which is fun to write, absolutely.
Insults are always fun to write.
Yes.
As long as
Favourite
you
part
don't
of
have to
writing.
say them out loud to real people.
Zilla, hello. Use that sprint to wake up. Sorry I missed it, but glad I got the end. Absolutely no worries. We are just the beginning of a full weekend left of sprints and streams. So you came at a fantastic time.
And if you want to, you can just watch the replays like I do.
That is also true. Yes. Always there for the extra sprints and productivity. We only got 280 words, slowing down a little. I have about 200 words left until I've hit my goal. You're doing so well, Rainy. You're slowing down, but you are almost where you need to be.
Has Rainy
Only a little bit
already
left.
told us what their goal is? Or
I think 2,000 words is the goal
okay.
Rainy's aiming for. So 1,800, Rainy, you're doing well. You got this.
Yeah, you're doing really well.
What word crawl are you using, Rainy? Is it one that you made yourself, or is it one that is already out there to use? If that makes sense. 427 for CB. Lena's spreadsheet is full of holes, but I'm feeling clear-headed. Best place to be. Always clear-headed. And CB uses the word egregious. Not used that word in ages.
What does that word mean?
You know what? I don't know.
Okay.
I'm really weird in that I can use words in a sentence and they sound right, but I don't actually quite know what the definition of the words I'm using mean. I'm really weird like that.
Okay. I've never heard that word before.
Have you not?
I don't think so. Or at least I've never seen it written. So maybe I've heard it, but don't know how it's written.
Yeah. The word crawls, are you using a specific word crawl that you find on the internet, or have you created your own version of a word crawl to do? Hello, Lee. How are you? It's akin to heinous, an absolute horrible thing. Yeah, that sounds correct. Yes, that is probably what it is.
So it's pronounced egregious.
Yeah.
Oh, I've heard that one. I've just never seen it written.
It's a really weird spelling for a really weird word, I will admit.
Yeah.
But yeah, Lee, you are 100% correct. That sounds like what the definition of that word would be.
Yeah, it sounds right.
Just means I'm terrible with definitions, but I'm all right with words. Right, it is just about 1:45 where I am, at least, which means it's probably about, well, not probably, which means it is about 7:45 EDT, which means it is almost time for the second sprint of the day, which coincidentally is hosted by Lee, so that is absolutely fantastic. we'll call it here, so you have a chance to get yourself resettled and organized for the next stream. So the best way, if you guys are going to continue with the sprints for the Storytellers Hearth, is to click on the link for the playlist, which is linked down below in the description. That will automatically take you to the next stream in the playlist when one ends. So you don't have to go clicking off onto different channels to find the next stream. You'll be taken there automatically. And the social links for the Storytellers Hearth Discord and the rest of the socials are also linked down below, as is all of the information for my fantastic, I did point in the right direction, thank God, I always point in the wrong direction, my fantastic host Annika for today. Do you want to do a quick outro for everybody before we pop off?
Go subscribe to my new YouTube channel so you'll be the first to know when my vlog about this weekend hits the internet.
Oh, love watching the vlogs. Absolutely. Everything is linked below. And I'm Sarah, your host. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. For those of you in Europe, I hope the weather doesn't get too crappy for you, because none of us can handle it. And we will see you guys around for the rest of the Storytellers Hearth. See you later, guys.
See
Bye.
you. Bye.